So millions and millions of Americans are about to suffer a huge loss. And it has to do with a recent cut to SNAP benefits. Because more than 2.4 million families, these are households, are going to lose out on hundreds of dollars of SNAP benefits every single month. That right there is putting more pressure on grocery stores and on food banks. Just look at this. It says a historic change in how Americans buy grocery is underway as SNAP benefit cuts begin. Now, here's what's troubling. SNAP benefits saw a massive change just a few days ago. On September 1st, we saw millions of people potentially get cut out of their benefits because there are now work requirements that are included into this. That if you don't meet those requirements or certain requirements, you have to go and work 80 hours a month. You have to go and do some type of education for 80 hours a month, or you have to volunteer. Again, that's 80 hours a month. That's 20 hours a week. Not a lot of hours. But there are millions of people that are going to suffer. I want to read something to you. This is actually from a food bank, okay? I want to read you what it says. This guy is an owner of a food bank in Oregon, and this is what he wrote. Normally, we can count on the essentials coming into the food bank, but even the essentials are not being donated. We could count on Safeway, Albertsons, and Winco all donating their soon-to-be expired rice, beans, peanut butter, cereal, and breads, but not anymore. In the past, this happened as well. When people can no longer afford the meats, seafood, and fresh vegetables, they opt for the cheaper goods. And when this happens, it leaves the shelves empty in the store, meaning our pantry is empty as well. Unfortunately, it's the people who really need the food that ultimately pay the price. And that is true, okay? And again, we're seeing this a lot. Just look at this article right here. It's from the Wall Street Journal. It says food banks are running out of food exactly when more Americans will need them. The most challenging situation I've seen in 17 years. Cuts to food stamps and other federal programs means some people go home hungry. Yeah. You want to know how bad things are? Okay, let me just paint this picture to you. I talked about this several months ago as well. I talked about this back in 2024. But I was saying that what happens is when you start to see layoffs and the middle class and the upper class are starting to really tighten their belts and they're trying to save as much money as possible. One of the things that they do is they stop buying the expensive meats. They don't want the ribeye anymore. They buy the less expensive cuts. So it always leaves the ribeyes and the Wagyu, it leaves that for other people. Unfortunately, when the middle class and the upper class, the high income earners, decide they want to save money, everything scales down. They buy the less expensive fruits, less expensive vegetables, less expensive cuts of meat, less expensive loaves of bread. And I said this before, that just watch and look at the bread aisle. Look at the cereal aisle. What is being sold out? Is it the bread for $1.49? Yeah. But I bet the bread for $5.99 a loaf is still sitting on the shelf. It's because people aren't buying that anymore. They're trying to save money. And when you start to see the high income earners, the middle class, all vying for the same food that the low income is currently able to afford, that means that goes off the shelf. They are no longer able to afford that because it's not there anymore. Now they got to pay a little bit more. This is where the low income earners are going to ultimately pay the price. But I want to read something else to you. I asked a friend of mine, okay, and he volunteers at a local soup kitchen quite a bit. And I asked him simply, what are you seeing? This is his response. Okay, I want to read it to you. He says, and I quote, "It's bad. We used to offer free meals to the homeless, but we can't anymore. We aren't charging them an arm and a leg either, but we have to charge them $5 per person per meal. It's still cheaper than anywhere else, but we can't get away with giving the food away for free when now we have to buy some of the items because donations just aren't coming in like they used to. And again, this is part of the problem. When grocery stores aren't giving away their almost expired food because it's getting sold out as quickly as they're getting it in, that shows a sign of what we are about to experience. We've seen this before. We saw this when back in 2008, 2009, 2010. We saw this in the 2016, 2017 as well. But we really started to see this when the economy is shifting. Okay? But I want to read something to you. I want to read a little bit more of this article right here. It says right here, on Monday, changes to the SNAP program go into effect with the CBO analysts forecasting 2.4 million fewer Americans, including families with children, will receive federal food benefits monthly. Okay? That means 2.4 million less. Big retailers, including Walmart, Amazon, and Dollar General, could see a boost in low-income Americans become even more focused on value. Independent and local grocers say they are already feeling impacts and expect more. I talked to a friend of mine who manages a grocery store. He's saying the same thing, that they actually went from a 3 shelving unit. This was for their clearance items. These are items that are about to expire. They're getting close. So their cereals, their pastas, their breads, things like that. He said they went from a 3 shelving unit. I don't know how many shelves are on it, but there's 3 different shelves. He said that they went from 3 different units to 1. And that 1 unit isn't even close to being filled. That is how much inventory they're going through. But guess what? It's the items that are on it aren't the bread for $1.49. No, that's getting sold as quickly as it comes in. It's not the cereals for $2.49. No, $2.99. No, it's not that cereal. That cereal is getting sold. It's the pastas that are $4.99 a box. It's the breads for $5.99 a loaf. That's what's sitting on the shelf. That's what they're ending up donating. And in some cases, they're going down as much as 75% off just to get rid of this inventory, and people still aren't buying it. Because think about it for a second. Think about if you bought something for $5, a $5 loaf of bread, $4.99. Okay? So it's 75% off. So you're paying what, $1.25 for a thing of bread that is about to expire in just mere days. Or you can spend 25 cents more and get something that is going to sit on the shelf for potentially a couple weeks. It has a shelf life of a couple weeks. Bread you pay $1.49 for, it sits there for a couple weeks, you end up using it all. Or you buy the more expensive bread for 75% off, get it for $1.25, but the issue there is you got to eat it all in with 2 days, or else it starts to get moldy and eventually goes bad. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at this time. Again, I'm bringing this to your attention because we are anticipating that these problems that are currently arising, they're going to get worse as more people realize that their benefits have been reduced substantially. Keep in mind, this just went into effect on September 1st. So what's today, the 3rd, 4th? So 3 days ago. Meaning that likely in the next probably 2 to 4 weeks, we are going to see some massive changes. Excuse me. And if those changes, or not if, when those changes occur, just be prepared that the items that you were previously buying, you might not be able to find them anymore, or they actually went up in price in order to slow down the purchasing. So we're going to see what happens over the next several weeks, but just understand that grocery stores are already feeling the effects of this SNAP benefit cut. And my guess is you will too. So let me know down in the comment section below, are you seeing this in your area? If so, where, what stores are you seeing this at? And what items are in short supply? Let me know down in the comment section below.